Hi, and welcome to episode 6 of Destiny 2. I did not make the episode last night because I did not want to stay up all night. I really needed to sleep at that point. But,
What?
uh, I'm just going to
In
continue
the
where I left off.
depths of the Hellmouth, my very soul was shattered into pieces. It was all I could do to try and pick them up again. But some pieces, as you can see, required replacing. I must call upon one of them now, an ancient talisman imbued with the magic of the Hive. Without it, the true power of the Nightmare Essence could not be harnessed. Through their union, we take our first step toward unearthing the secrets of the pyramid. But it is only a step. Further essences require further hive magic, neither of which I possess. Acquire both, and our path to the pyramid should present itself.
In Destiny 2, this is the spark that ignited basically the entire thing of Season of the Witch. This started down the path, and you'll see at the very ending cutscene, but you'll see why this kind of started down the path of her using way more darkness abilities than even Savathun would use. Like, so many, just going deeper into that rabbit hole than even the other hive gods have dared. And what she counts as blasphemy is not what they count as blasphemy, so she could actually do shit more powerful than them, which is insane to think about. Now, this entire campaign is to get these pieces of armor, to get that mod, to be able to go through that barrier that the Crota Boy was at. That's the entire shtick of this campaign, but the armor itself does look pretty cool. I actually like the Dreaming armor. But the main thing that I'm doing with this
It would
video in
seem you
tandem
are
is
in
testing out
danger
this build.
here.
This build
Do
is
not wait
actually
to speak.
this video is actually very very fun. I'm trying to figure out more. Okay, how to put this. My builds for my hunter are usefulness. Like, this is high in PvE, and all these are higher in things. Like, this is constant volatile, or not volatile, constant jolt, which is a anti-overload thing, which allows me to do all that very well, and also gives me a constant damage reduction while just using my abilities that I have instantly, basically. So that's just constant looping of resilience and all sorts of
Welcome,
shit.
Hunter. You
This is
almost
constant
surprised
ignitions,
me.
just in multiple different flavors with a high uptime of a maximum damage boost because the
Cade and I agree
ignition
on one
is
thing, at least. A hunter's place
why.
is not behind walls.
Okay, the this build is constant ignitions with the main source of the ignitions being the melee. So if I don't get the kill with the melee, or if I don't get the ignition with melee, I still get the kill. So I'm getting constant buff for both my two primaries and different things like that. This one is constant invis and constant applying of weaken with the glaive and different things like that, with the ability to just say fuck you specifically with the bastion. Like, there's so many different flows to that. This build I'm dabbling with for a very good melee build of getting in the shit. And at first glance, you would think a scout rifle is a very weird pick for that. But scout rifles all have pretty decent hipfire. You'll see me, and okay, I'm not really good with hipfire overall, but I will try my best to get good with it. But that is what I'm going to primarily use with its secondary mode. I do want to show this off because secondary mode is like a very underutilized mode without the maximum charges, but it's very good without maximum charges regardless. It's equivalent damage to basic shots without it being charged. But what it allows you to do is some pretty cool shit. Ah, it's not similar. Never mind, not at all. Wait. Oh, that was just the explosive damage. Huh. If you haven't noticed, it has some pretty hefty tracking that you can easily just swap off of and start annihilating at far, because it is a scout rifle. And that explosion was not part of the scout rifle. That is seasonal stuff, and I'm going to make that fully clarified whenever I really think it's necessary. That is just part of the seasonal artifact, because seasonal artifact is around multiple elements, because prismatic. And that is why I think, or the melee being able to instantly reload my scout rifle is why I think the scout rifle is going to be very good. Because the only real downside to symmetry is that it has basically negative reload speed. It feels horrible to reload that weapon. But if you don't have to reload the weapon, it kind of makes it good. I'll get this eventually. I got this time. Invisible walls are a pain in the ass. Now I actually have to grab the quest. Oh, I thought I didn't grab the
Glad to
quest.
see you safe.
Hell yeah, so I can just... Forget.
Cade and I agreed on one thing, at least. A hunter's place is not behind you.
And that right there is a very cool thing about how Hunter, Titan, and Warlock is meant to work together. And speaking of that, next episode is really dabbling, or really hardening that difference, what each class is meant to be, and I love it. And I talked about that last episode, but just the entire next episode just sounds amazing for class identity. But with that said, the entire gameplay mechanic, like what you're kind of meant to have, is a hunter, a titan, and a warlock. Each one working in tandem, where the hunter is in the shit primarily, like more in the shit than the more in the shit than the titan, or like simultaneously in the shit with the titan. But the titan is the wall. The hunter is kind of meant to be in front or kind of to the side, never really behind. Which is why Eris said you're never really meant to be behind the wall, even in gameplay. The Titan, you're meant to be beside, in front, in the general vicinity, but never actually behind. Where the Warlock is kind of meant to be behind both of you, because they are typically like the range support, different things like that. With what, not typically, but with the overall kit and how they can really be played. Typically, people play Warlocks in the shit like every other class, but how they are meant to be portrayed in like a more realistic setting. Because keep in mind, in an actual like lore accurate battle, the Guardians are dead in one shot. The Guardians are dead in an actual like fight. Like every fight is the same fight to them. There is no power limiter. There is no things like that. A Dreg can shoot them as well as a high power Dreg, or like a red bar Dreg can kill them as fast as a golden bar Dreg. Basically, like it's not that stuff in lore. So really thinking about that, and that's what I really like thinking about. Gameplay is its own thing, lore is its own thing, but lore specifically, it's very fun to think about how every combat encounter could easily be their last as a guardian, which is why they need to be trained to hell and back and all sorts of shit. It's pretty fucking cool. It's very similar to Warhammer actually, because like the training of the training of the Crucible is literally to get them better adjusted to dying repeatedly over and over and over again with the ability to possibly get back up. Because sometimes that darkness is just going to say,
Devotion is a dangerous thing. But when it came to Crota, Omnigul knew no other way. She raised for him an army of Hive and tore apart throngs of Guardians. Omnigul left much suffering in her wake. Suffering the Pyramid now uses against us. It expects us to fall to that which we have conquered. Not today.
and to clarify on what I said about darkness, for humans, like without the light, it will be most likely just pure darkness or just nothing existence. But for the Guardians, they actually have an afterlife, canonically. In Lightfall, you hear about it, and it's actually pretty cool. And if you haven't watched the destination exploration that I made, this is one of the destinations I actually didn't go into because I really wanted you to explore it. But since the campaign kind of takes you everywhere, I am going to explore it no matter what in this campaign. Just not all in one sitting. And a pretty cool effect of the symmetry is that you can actually swap away from it. That sounds kind of weird, but not all exotics, for balancing reasons sometimes, and other things like that, won't actually allow you to keep charges of their exotic thing. Okay. When I said I'm not really good with hipfire, it's because I don't know exactly how to do it. But as you're seeing right there, if you tap fire, pretty good. Just spamming a rapid fire scout is not really a good way to do it. But typical scout, or not typical, other scout rifles, the shot will instantly reset, basically, where you don't have an insta bloom out to epic proportions. I'm trying to build up my combination. Activate, you big bitch.
Eris, the Nightmare of Omnigul is taken care of. For now, anyway.
Did you retrieve any further essence?
We did. This time unique to this nightmare.
I see. Then we will uncover its secrets together. Until then, the Hive await you inside the Scarlet Keep. Let me know what you find within.
Did Zavala?
I just pressed the wrong button there first.
The fight continues. It is yours. Always be prepared. You have returned.
You know, I am going to actually do the pretty cool method of going to the vault. Which, if you did not know what I just did there, to go to the vault pretty easily, all you have to do is go to a thing that you can load into and then press your vault button because that will basically count as orbit for some reason, and I don't know why.
I'm sorry, sir. I don't understand.
I really don't like Osteostriga, but I think it's not a bad idea to use it here.
Will you be prepared? Or will you be bored? I can't hold them anymore!
Shit! Almost hit him. But to be honest, I wouldn't have been able to kill him there, so I would have still taken damage. There is no... That is a mean symbol. Because the actual entrance, I don't even... Can you go into the Lost Sector? You can. Okay. So that's not that mean. Just, it should kind of be here. Because it's here and then turn. That's the kind of mean placement for that. Okay. I just thought of something worth testing. How many do I need for SMG? I'm guessing it's the 5 out of 15 one. So just 2. Yeah, cool. Oh wait, no, just get a lot of kills. Okay.
Is anyone there? Come in! Is anyone there? Come in!
For the heavy weapons, I'm wanting to test if the glaive works. Hell, I even have ammo. Oh. Well, that tells me everything I need to know. Awesome. Okay, then.
I can't hold him anymore!
That right there shows off how the finishers can actually build into your entire thing. Where that counted as a weapon kill, but because it changed to arc, or changed to blue, it counted as an arc weapon kill, which triggered that entire arc explosion. It's just fucking gorgeous. There's a reason why this game made me want to make games. Oh, hell yeah, this has only been 22 minutes. I've already done so much. Fuck yeah. Wait, oh, wait. I was actually on the Scarlet Keep that entire time. Huh.
Potent energies are radiating from the Scarlet Keep and its grand tower. Power as I've never felt. Foul rituals are doubtlessly underway inside. And if we're fortunate, the hive magic we need to create more armor.
I have very quickly.
Preferred their strongholds underground. Why build a tower?
It was thought to be ceremonial in nature. The Vanguard monitored its construction, but had more pressing concerns. Fools. The energy spilling from the tower suggests another purpose. I believe it amplifies hive magic. This may be where the hive achieve their immunity to the pyramid's influences.
I have gotten the hang of Hunter movement. That's what I was wanting to say before Ghost cut me off. I'm actually trying my best to give them stuff to kill.
Wait, is that Eris? We've got eyes on a daughter of Crota.
It's Hashladun. It must be. Only she could be responsible for the keeps emanations. She was presumed dead after Crota's fall. If she's alive, if she's here, the Hive's designs are dark indeed. Whatever rituals are underway in the tower must be stopped. And Hashladun must be eliminated.
Okay, the only downside to this button layout is that This is a little bit funky on my fingers. So he can have fun doing what he's doing. I can also, or to also have a reason to go AFC. And I say AFC because I'm on control. AFK is for keyboard. And there's my controller layout. I should actually show off my emotes because that's also no. Here, here, or here, because that's actually important. Because if it wasn't that weird thing, these would be a lot more jank overall.
The bridge is lowering. Let's move.
That was a little bit overkill, but it was fun. The only feature this game is actually missing out of all the different features, and keep in mind, if you didn't know, every single build you can have rhythm builds, you can have all sorts of other builds in this game for PvP and PvE alike if you just can really figure out how to make it work. Because so many different things can do so many different things, and I know that sounds weird, but people don't really see the beauty in a lot of different things. Just every exotic has a very unique purpose and a very unique playstyle. Even if two exotics seem very similar, the uniqueness in each is what makes it very unique.
There's Hashladun, falling back deeper into the keep. We've got her on the run.
It appears that way. But
But what?
something is amiss. Continue your pursuit, Guardian. With caution.
And that is why I saved that. This is more powerful than my shotgun. With technically infinite ammo.
Do you feel it as I do, Guardian? A hatred as pure and potent as sunshine, soaking through your skin. Hashladun knows what the Guardians have done. She watched as her lineage fell, one after the other. Crota, Oryx, Omnigul, and she is eager to return that pain.
That's the power of Cascade Point! Damn! I don't know what SMG has Cascade Point, but that was obviously Cascade Point. And that is why I really like the fact that this is Scout Rifle. It gives me a very, very fluid and very versatile versatility. Where even in Scout Rifle mode, I can have some pretty good close range.
Eris, we've reached the center of the keep. Ashley Doom's gone up the tower.
She has nowhere left to run. Resume the hunt. You must not hesitate nor relent. Potent energies are gathering above you. A burning anticipation. Ashladun yearns for your arrival.
She wasn't retreating. She was luring.
Something kind of funny, in a situation like this, the typical thought idea, or typical idea is explode it from the ground up, like get rid of the tower itself. But the fucky thing about Hive is that could be exactly like the failsafe they have, where if you do that, they feed a specific god with all that death, and that god just crumps you in orc tradition, or not orc tradition, in orc wordage, but absolutely brutalizes the entire species that is known as you.
She's certainly going through considerable effort to settle a grudge.
But vengeance, as you are aware, can be quite soothing. It is beyond a mere grudge. They've been wounded in a way that cannot be healed.
Guardian, eyes up. Here she comes.
Just to give you guys a cool perspective on this shit.
it's over. Hashladoon is dead.
This is a relief to hear. But Hashladoon's presence is no coincidence. The Hive must have grander ambitions for the Pyramid's influences.
She had a tablet on her, one that describes a cryptoglyph. I have no record of such an item.
That is precisely the information we came here for. Return to me. There is much to discuss.
That sucks. Because it's a campaign mission for me, I can't actually commend them at all. I would if I could. Hell yeah! I still should be able to do at least another mission.
The pyramid trembles under the weight of our progress. With every victory, we draw closer to conquering it. The spoils of Hashladoon's death are twofold. We now know what the Hidden Swarm have been using to shield themselves from the nightmares, and where it lies. The cryptoglyph. If ever there was a more powerful set of runes the Hive used to conjure their magics, I have yet to learn of it. Of course, to acquire it, we must delve into horrific depths. Our cryptoglyph lies at the bottom of the Hellmouth. I have learned to honor each parting as if it were the last.
It's here. Hunting me.
Eyes up, Guardian. Fallen ether.
That was just public event. I should be able to speed run the fuck out of this one. Also, I've said this in previous videos, I believe. The reason why I'm able to just clear these so easily is because, one, I am on basic difficulty, and two, the ad density is very lackluster, very things like that, because at this point, there was no subclass 3.0. It was the pyramid, or the diamond system, which was completely different.
The catacombs. Somewhere within that hive-infested labyrinth lies our cryptoglyph. If we hope to go beyond the pyramid's warding, we must retrieve it, but be warned. Those who enter the rotting depths of the catacombs often fail to return. In that tomb, light does not find a way.
Something amazing, from the very beginning, basically, the Guardian has always been like interdimensional space Jesus, basically. And I mean that in the most literal terms, because the Guardian is able to do some crazy shit. Like, for an example, bringing back Saint. It's not a random Saint. It's not a very, very close copy of Saint. It is Saint. And this season talks about how that is so wrong, technically isn't the same Saint, and different things like that, even though he technically is the same Saint. Everything is the same. All he did in the... kind of spoiler. All he did in that merging of Dead Saint and Life Saint is...
Over on the other side of the pit.
Okay, I'm sorry for stuttering so much. It's just a weird way to put this. He is connecting those two memories where he's having that overlap, that one little overlap of he died. Where he didn't die, though, kind of thing, where it's a mixture of both are what happened. Kind of thing, which is all he did. Everything else is the exact same. Which is absolutely insane that the only person that could ever do that, even Osiris, the big Russian man's lover that broke time, literally fucking broke time to be with his man again. Completely gnarly. That's why he broke time. And that is insane to think about. And second, it's even more insane to think about because Osiris is the master, basically, of Vextech. He is able to abuse Vextech in ways the Vex can't really stop him, type of shit. So,
Never are the catacombs unmanned, as they play host to the most potent of Hive magics, including our cryptoglyph. We know not what the Hive plan to do with power as dangerous as this, but they must not find success. The dark rituals of the Hive pose a threat we can't currently afford to face. If their goals align with ours, it is of utmost importance they be halted immediately.
I was saying something, but I forgot because paying attention to what she was saying. Fuck. I was saying something. Ah, shit, sorry. Times like this is where I would really love somebody to talk to. I would really love a player too, and I would even be the player too kind of thing. I don't mean that in they are the player too. I just want somebody extra to play with. And times like this is where playing on controller is just better. Sorry about that alarm going off. I stopped that alarm. And the reason why this is so good to play on controller is because all I'm doing is keeping my movement joystick moving forward and just absolutely turning, or maximum both, but the look joystick is going to the side. That's all I have to do to keep my amplify going and speed boosted going just by standing still. Practically. Okay, I just learned something sweet. I don't actually have to use my melee ability to benefit from the volatile, not volatile, no, I'm sorry, not volatile, the jolt explosion. That is actually really good to know.
It was within these depths that Crota and his brood stripped me of all that I cared for. My fire team. My friends. Only I remained, beaten and broken. The guilt of survival lingers. But you must not. Onward.
The pyramid. My light. It's happening again.
Focus. The pyramid distracts, nothing more. When you have the cryptoglyph in hand, I will teleport you out.
Okay, I just remember what I was talking about, which is why I'm standing here. The fact that you could actually bring Saint through that portal and actually change that means the Guardian is more than just a typical Guardian. And another fact, another piece on that entire thing is the first time you talk to the witness, technically, in lore, is when he is talking to you by looking like you, by using a back door through your mind and like Ghost itself. And the only Guardian to have the back door is you. So what exactly are you? And that I hope they actually go into that. And I say you because the Guardian is the player. They're one and the same, which is why the Guardian is always called the Guardian. There's no name because they're all the same. Which also thinking about, just imagine a light, just a glow stick running into the battlefield doing every single ability all at once. Because that's how I like picturing that, even though I don't think that's at all lore accurate. Just I just like thinking a glow stick. That the downside is like they are a Deus Ex Machina. I think I said that correctly. Where they're like the God Emperor of Warhammer 40k, where they can literally do anything they want to. But the problem is, like with Warhammer 40k, there's only one of him or her technically. So yeah, you can't have them do everything. You have to pick and choose what they do, as like Zavala and different things like that. But I like picturing that because that is what the Guardian is. It is all these different possibilities converging, basically. Am I charging it? Oh. And there's been so many different times where the Guardian, due to what seems like plot armor, like in Warhammer 40k, what seems like plot armor, but if you really want to delve deep into it, it's not at all. Sometimes there's plot armor in Warhammer, like sometimes there's plot armor in this where it's just obviously plot armor, unless they really want to expand. Like, for an example, in Lightfall, and we will get there at some point, and this is Lightfall, and I've talked about this previously, but the explosion that dude caused should not have been able to do what that dude wanted it to do.
Just like those hunting Eris. Faceless guardians watching us. They're nothing more than a distraction.
You want to know something kind of funny? Those nightmares are made of the same ectoplasm, goop, whatever the fuck. Oh, I thought those were gone. Whatever the fuck you want to call it. That the actual villain, like the actual gonna kill you nightmares are made out of. So theoretically, those big bitch or those floaty bitches could just swarm you and murder you.
That's the cryptoglyph. Grab it.
Why is it immune? You can't kill me. I'm fast as I'm fast as fuck. I'm fast as fuck. Why is there a boy behind me? Why is there boys behind me? You suck ass. I almost killed myself. Well, I will take that. Hell yeah. That's down below. Shit.
Eris, we have the cryptoglyph. Teleport us out. Eris, are you there? Run.
Sections like this really need to be revamped. if they okay, I do think Bungie could really get away with revamping all these expansions and instead of making them legacy, turn them into just Shadowkeep again, like Shadowkeep 2.0, that general thing. And I think if they do that, I think it should actually be a little bit less. And if they already have it, make it like free, if anything, because I don't think they should have to pay for it again. But if they don't have it, make it cheaper because it was already an expansion that came out previously. They don't even have to change really anything. Just every single time they make one of those, release it. And that makes like okay, that makes me a little more. Make them kind of in the background. Make them in the background so they're just there, kind of cooking along while you're making everything else. But while it's cooking in the background, whenever one of them dings that they're done, you can just release it and say, "Ta-da! Bonus expansion that you can buy," kind of thing. Like the dungeon keys, but for just bonus stuff, expansions and all sorts of shit. Where they could also use that to get to take things out of the DCV even more than what they were doing. But if they do that, which okay, if you don't know, the reason why they have the DCV is because the DCV. Okay, Destiny 2 is a massive game. The DCV was to get rid of some of that big size to it. So the DCV was a good idea, just kind of bad for the community. So if they start bringing back things from the DCV, they really need to.
We're here. Cryptoglyph and all.
I thought you'd... I'm sorry. The immense darkness of the pyramid kept me from you. But we must not waste time. With the cryptoglyph in hand, we stand a chance against the pyramid. Bring it here and let us make use of it.
Okay, as I was saying, if you do make that, I say you the entire time as Bungie, make the expansions happen. And technically, excuse me, all you need to do really is make it cheap, and you don't even have to. Oh yeah, I was talking about the size specifically. The size, when it comes to that, you would actually have to do something like okay, first, I think Bungie should really have dedicated servers just to make a lot of things smoother and different things like that, but I don't think that is the only solution. I do think there's other things on it because of what Bungie has going for it and what Bungie doesn't have going for it overall. Like, dedicated servers will help out and smooth things along, different things here and there. Like, there's a couple things under the hood that needs to be done. But not really needs to be. I do like some of the jank. I just wish I had somebody to play with mostly. That's why I don't play this game a whole lot, at least nowadays. But and the reason why I don't play it is because everything I need to do is with 6 players or less, technically, because it's the higher end shit that I need to do, and that's it. And that I need players with, or need to play with, and people aren't really the best to play with. And that's all I can play with, which sucks. But, as I was saying, if they want to do that, they really need to do something like Stadia that doesn't exist anymore, even though it actually is a pretty cool concept in general. Would say it was trying to do and just bring to the world in general. It's just a pretty cool concept, and if Bungie did something like that for the bonus expansions, that would be very cool and would actually help out with the DCV overall. But like the guns and loot are the exact same. It doesn't really matter from there, and that would also give them a reason to revamp all of those things again and make them more fine-tuned. Like each expansion from like Witch Queen up has been more fine-tuned, more this is what they're supposed to do. Oh hell yeah. This is almost or this video.
I don't care. You reek of the Hellmouth. That armor will prove useful in the battles to come, but the pyramid demands greater power to enter it. 3 further pieces of armor. 3 more nightmares. These diseases torture the moon with their very presence. Send them back to the past where they belong, and in return they shall provide us with power.
And something kind of cool, if they do want to revamp these expansions, something like Dreambane, I believe is what the armor piece is, or the mod is called. Yeah, Dreambane. Excuse me, I had to cough there, even though you didn't hear me. But Dreambane could get a massive buff overall to change what it does and make it more of a just here overall. And for the other things like Riven's Bane and different things like that you can just slot on whenever you want to. Oh, there's other ones. Huh. That's actually pretty cool. But what they could do is revamp all that and generally make it free. Like basically make Artifice armor is what I'm thinking with that free mod slot where it doesn't cost anything, but it is not a stat increase. Nor near stat increase. It's like a and hell, if they really want to like dabble into this, it could actually have like that armor piece overall as like a different thing like Artifice, like it's gameplayist. I don't fucking know. Names are my strong suit, but the gameplay armor will then allow you to have a different, in addition to everything else. So you can have all pieces have that gameplay armor, which you get it by doing campaigns, which would be kind of cool and give more of a reason to do campaigns over just grinding everything else out. The high power and different things like that. Like it will give a lot more wiggle room, so to speak, when it comes to builds and different things like that. Like that could be a cool idea, but that is not necessarily needed. Just if they do everything else, that would be pretty cool. To just dabble into that a little bit more and just delve deep into that. And they don't even need to do that necessarily, just something more for that overall mod system. Because like Riven's Bane, if you did not know, allows you to look Taken. The only time that you can ever really look Taken is with a full set of Riven Bane's armor, or full set of Rivering Dawn armor with Riven's Bane, which is the mod on Rivering Dawn. I think I'm saying them right. I hope I am. But that if you have all the pieces and you drink one of these, your armor will turn Taken-y. Like it will look like a Taken. You don't have the little bits coming off of you, and that is fucking gorgeous. And I really hope at some point Bungie makes either a exotic shaders, which should be glows like Taken effect, the effect whenever you Guardian rank up, that general thing, but doesn't give you the speed effect, just the overall look and different things like that for a golden thing that could easily be in a new slot where it's an overall thing. Like how shaders worked in D1, how you just had a slot overall for your shader, where just one thing overall. They could do that for the glow, where it's one glow overall, but it's on top of your shader, and they kind of merge together to allow you to have a lot more customization. And I had a second one. I really like that concept actually. I don't Yeah, I would really like them to expand on those concepts actually, overall. I was going to say option two, but I don't think there really is an option two if they really want to do that. Just something like that would be perfect. I don't think a shader would work its own slot overall, because if you have a shader instead of that, like for an example, the glow for ranking up looks very good with some shaders and some shaders it doesn't, and how would you pick the base shader when that is meant to be glow over top, which is something in itself. Now, with all that said, because this video is basically done, have a good rest of y'all's day, and I hope y'all enjoyed the video.